What's up guys, Starlink here, and today I'm going to quickly run through some of the games that I'm looking forward to in the month of February. Now, keep in mind that a lot of the titles that I talk about today are not necessarily going to be titles that I pick up day one per se. No, these are games that I might pick up later on in the year when they go on a sale or something. But anyways, these are games at the very least that have piqued my curiosity and I'll keep an eye on. Also realize that these are just my gaming highlights. They're not necessarily going to be some of the big games in there like Anthem or Far Cry. I don't have anything against those games, they're just not my cup of tea personally. But with that out of the way, let's jump right into it and just see some of my gaming highlights of the month of February. Alright, let's kick things off with Etrian Odyssey Nexus on the 3DS. Now, I love me a good dungeon crawl every now and then, and the Etrian Odyssey games are some of my favorites. The classic turn-based RPG combat mixed with the self-made map system has always been a joy on the DS and 3DS. Well, for me anyway. Venturing into unexplored territory and charting maps of your surroundings are things that I've always enjoyed about these games. It's really cool putting a map together as you explore dungeons. Honestly though, I would have preferred to have seen this game on the Switch over the 3DS, but it doesn't really surprise me too much really considering the whole charting maps thing. They could have gotten it to work on the Switch itself since it does in fact have a touchscreen, but that wouldn't really work if you're playing it in docked mode, right? If the trade-off of having future Etrian Odyssey games on the Switch means losing the map charting feature, that's something I can deal with myself, even though I would miss it. Regardless, however, I'm okay with busting out my old 3DS if it means great games like this still release. And seeing as though this is claimed to be the series' final outing on the 3DS, maybe, just maybe, we will see the next entry on the Switch. Fingers crossed, everyone. Okay, next up is Away, Journey to the Unexplored. Now, I don't quite honestly know what to say about this one other than it has me curious. It's an FPS roguelite, which seems to be a common genre we see nowadays. It has some funky looking 2D character artwork in the 3D world setting with a slice of anime theme to top it off. Now, I haven't played many roguelike games, but I'm willing to give this game a shot at the very least. Yeah, it looks weird, sure, but that's what makes games like this interesting sometimes, right? Who knows? It may be worth taking a look at. It's something I'll keep an eye on anyway. This could be a fun little game to pass the time between any big titles I may be playing after all. Next up is Jump Force. Now at first I didn't really think much of this game, but then I started hearing more news, watching a few trailers, and now it has caught my interest. As you may have known if you've been following my channel for a while now, I'm not huge into the fighting game scene, but I still enjoy a good brawl every now and then. I've played your staples like your Street Fighters and Mortal Kombat, sure, even some of your more niche fighters like the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games, BlazBlue, and Blade Strangers, just to name a few. I'm just not very good at fighting games other than maybe Smash Brothers, and I only really bust out a fighting game when friends and family are over. I don't really delve into the online scene that much either with fighters. I'd probably get my ass handed to me for sure. But I digress. Jump Force has me intrigued with its choice of setting and fighting style. It looks pretty cool, honestly. I am a fan of a lot of the characters Namco has shown off as so far as well. I'll be keeping an eye on this one for sure, and maybe watch a few reviews first before I take the plunge. Next on the list is Metro Exodus. Now this game won't come as a surprise to many people considering it's one of the big releases this month. Now I've played Metro Last Light and enjoyed its story and gameplay, but I never got around to playing 2033 however, which was the first game. Instead of a more linear pathway when it comes to level design from the previous entries, in Metro Exodus they look to have a more open-ended approach, giving you a wider area to explore and discover. It sounds like fun on paper, sure, but I may wait on this one for a bit and pick it up later on in the year. At that point it might be on a sale or something. Now I prefer to play most of my FPS games on PC for the keyboard and mouse support, so I'll probably end up getting it there. As someone who grew up with the oldies like Wolfenstein 3D, Doom, and later on Half-Life, it just feels more natural for me to play them there. Speaking of PC, I know this may be a sensitive topic for some people, what with the whole moving away from Steam to the Epic Games Store timed exclusivity thing, and I understand why developers want to do it, however, for that better share of the money that Epic Games Store brings, and you know what, that's fine. It's just that it's starting to get a tad bit crazy with all these game launchers on PC as of late, am I right? I'd love to have just one dedicated launcher to play all of my PC games on is all I'm saying. Or at the very least, the ability to move all purchased games from one launcher to another. But I know that'll never happen. I can dream though, right? It's starting to look like the PC game launcher wars here with Steam and Epic Games at each other's throats. It's crazy. Next up is The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel Decisive Edition. And holy crap, that's a mouthful. Say that 5 times fast. As the title suggests, this is the definitive version of Trails of Cold Steel, which started life on the Vita and PS3 in the States in 2015 and was later ported to the PC in 2017. It has more voice dialogue within the game, as well as an option to switch between English and Japanese voices this time. It also looks and runs better as a result to moving to more capable hardware. Well, compared to the Vita and PS3 anyway. Now, I have played through and enjoyed this game very much on the Vita, so I can't recommend it enough to anybody who's a fan of a good JRPG. With a great story and some fun, tactical turn-based gameplay, it will have you hooked for sure. With the definitive version of the second game releasing in May and the just recently announced third entry in the series finally coming stateside later this year, there's no better time like the present to jump into the first entry in the series. Even if you are currently playing it on the Vita or PS3 and haven't finished it yet, you can just transfer your current save over to the PS4 and continue playing where you left off. That's a pretty nice perk, honestly. I don't know of many other games that do that. Fans of JRPGs who have yet to play these games, you are in for a treat, I'm sure, and I suggest giving this game a try. Alright, the last game on this list is Remi Lore Lost Girl in the Lands of Lore. This is a twin-stick hack-and-slash roguelite with procedurally generated levels. And just like Away, Journey to the Unexplored, it could be a fun, quick game to play in between some of the bigger titles releasing this year. Plus, it's a Nicholas game, and you know what that means for the physical editions, folks. It's a given that a manual will be in there, along with any other trinkets they decide to tuck away in that game case. The fact that this is a Nicholas game means that I'll be picking up the physical version at some point, that's for sure. Seriously, I love what these guys do with their physical editions. Well, there you have it, folks. That was just a slice of the games coming out in the month of February that have piqued my interest, and I might get around at some point to playing them sometime this year. Maybe. I gotta at least complete Kingdom Hearts 3 first anyways. But anyways, if I had to signal out just one game to pick up this month, that would have to be The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel Decisive Edition. If you're a JRPG fan and you haven't played that game yet, I highly recommend it. That was a game I originally played on the Vita, and I enjoyed it so much that that's probably the one game that I'll make sure that I pick up this month. And I'm looking forward to playing through it again when I get the chance to. But anyways guys, as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like or a dislike if you didn't, and make sure you leave a comment down below on any games that you're looking forward to playing this month. Maybe you don't even care because you're still busy playing games from last month. If you're anything like me, I feel your pain. Too many games, so many great games, and not enough time, right? But anyways, as always, I want to thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Reach for the stars. Yo, future me, did you manage to pick up Etrian Odyssey yet?
Yep, got it right here. And you know what? You only paid $18 for it.
That's great. And why are you wearing a mask?
Well, I gotta conceal my identity, right? I don't want people knowing who I am.
You do realize that I just called you out, right? I called myself out, I guess. I'm talking to you. That means I'm talking to myself. And people are gonna think I'm crazy. And how in the hell are you even here?
By the power of your imagination, brother. See ya. Oh, and watch your step in those stairs at work on Wednesday. It's a doozy.
That must be it then. I'm crazy.